to finding calm in the chaos. I am Denise Sith, and this is my podcast. Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another episode of Finding Calm in the Chaos. I almost did not record today because, number one, I'm super busy and it's just been crazy because I'm trying to keep up with everything because I've been sick for so long. But I feel like I'm starting to maybe get my voice back, and I'll just keep taking breaks while I'm recording this if I go into like a coughing jag. So we'll do that. But today, we're going to talk about some fun things, and then we're going to talk about some real things, because I posted I wasn't feeling well the other day on social media, and of course I got a plethora of unsolicited advice, and then my messenger started blowing up, and I'm going to say, peeps, some of y'all are insane. You're downright crazy. And some of the messages were downright rude. And one was actually dangerous. So I'm going to preface this conversation with, because a lot of people on social media do not know what I do. They follow me, but for whatever reason, they don't know that I'm retired from the medical world. They don't know that I did holistic nutrition, like legitimately. I'm degreed. So I get that. But sometimes it comes from a good place, and sometimes people are just insane. And I want to say a huge shout out to my friend Heather, Heather D. We're just going to do that because she reached out to me privately and was like, girl, your message about unsolicited advice and the crazy things people say, I just want you to know I hear you, because she is also a holistic practitioner, and we have been living that truth for about 20 years. We are the OGs of the crunchy world now. I don't know, but sometimes the people in the current world believe that some basic advice is legitimately the best advice they've ever heard of. Although I've talked about it in the past, that I really admire and think it's kind of cool that everybody's on this like holistic and natural food path and medicine path. And, you know, hey, I am all in, right? But 20 years ago, when I was posting the same shit you guys are posting today, I was a kook, as well as Heather D and other people who were all posting this way. And it's a little annoying. I'm not going to lie. It's super annoying. And I know that I want to believe that it comes from a good place, but you cannot reach out to people. And I'm going to keep saying this year, because I've noticed on social media, especially, online, there are so many people who have self-professed themselves as nutritionists, physical therapists, physical trainers, holistic practitioners, and they are not. And they've professed this because they have a love of all things holistic. That does not make you a practitioner, nor does it give you a right in a lot of states, to give solicited or unsolicited advice, because you are not certified or licensed to do so. And it's getting dangerous, folks. I'm not going to lie. Also, as a warning to all people, if you sell a multi-level marketing product, an MLM product, you are not certified for anything. You may have paid for programs within your own company. I know several that do that. Ketones. I'm just saying it. You can pay to be like some certified ketone coach, but that particular is a money grab from that company who's charging their representatives for this title that means nothing in the real world. It means nothing. So you're taking advice, a lot of people are taking advice from people who fell for a money grab, who are in turn trying to money grab to reclaim their money by providing advice regarding health that is dangerous and untrue. Okay? Yeah, I can't say that enough this year. I'm going to keep talking about it because I'm really over it, peeps. I really am. And let me tell you why. Because let me tell you some of the craziness that people suggested to me. Now, I'm going to tell you this, and I thought I was being petty until Heather D reached out to me and said, come at me, brah, with something more than vitamin D, vitamin C, and zinc. And I'm going to talk about that later. Okay? For all you people who think that that's what makes you healthy. Because there's a fine line there. Yeah, I agree with Heather. Don't reach out to someone who for 20 years has been living with multiple autoimmune diseases, medication-free, prescription medication-free. I want you to tell me how many people you know have lupus, or speak to a physician and tell them you know somebody who has lupus, who has gone without prescription medications for more than 20 years. It's almost a rarity. I'm not going to say that I'm the only person, because there are a lot of people on the bandwagon that get autoimmune now and know that it can be dealt with by diet and supplementation. But I'm going to tell you right now, don't come at me with, I need to take vitamin C, vitamin D, or zinc. Yeah, that is just, it's almost offensive. I'm not going to lie. I was just like, wait, what? Are you kidding me right now? Do you know me at all? Have you listened to any episode I'm in? Have you even read my bio? Like, wait, what? Oh my gosh, like, stop it right now. So don't tell people to do stuff like that, because it almost makes you feel like they're an imbecile. And people aren't imbeciles. There are imbeciles. But if they're friends with you, I would go to gather that most likely you're not friends with a bunch of imbeciles. If you are, I'm sorry, realign your friend network. But it's just mind-boggling to me. Don't come at people with they need to take vitamin C and zinc. That's hogwash, okay? And I'm going to talk about that stuff later. The second part of the podcast, we're going to talk about actual myths versus what's real, and why things are okay versus you don't do, okay? Because people just make stuff up, and they don't really know the full picture. That's what happens when you have armchair holistic people. They're doing what they're reading online, which is not evidence-based medicine. And when you're dealing with holistic stuff, that could be really dangerous. Just because something is natural doesn't mean it could cause a ton of problems if you do it wrong. Because, my friends, it absolutely can. Okay? So, another thing, a big suggestion was that I do the elderberry syrup, which I already do. And I'm like, okay, but that's more of a preventative. So when you're taking elderberry syrup, you're not taking it when you're sick. I mean, you can, but it's more of a preventative. You would take that daily to prevent yourself from being sick. I also was told I should take antibiotics, which is interesting because if I have a cold, I shouldn't take antibiotics because a cold is viral. And antibiotics are for bacterial infections. And this is why people have resistancies to things, because you go to the doctor because you have a stuffy nose or a cough, and you insist that you or your child gets antibiotics. And what that does is if you have a viral issue, you're taking antibiotics and your body becomes accustomed and used to those antibiotics. So that in the future, when you actually have a bacterial infection and you get prescribed antibiotics, they're going to probably not work, because the more you're taking them when you don't need them, the more your body develops an immunity against them. And you're taking them for no reason at all, which is why they tell you that if you are super sick and you're viral, stay home. Call your pediatrician's office for your kids or your doctor's office. And if you're not sure what to do, just have them give you what their suggestion is. Do I call my doctor for suggestions when I'm sick? Nope. Because my doctor is like severely obese and always sick. Just saying. So no, I don't ask for advice from him. I need him for other things like getting my lab work done annually. But I do my own medicine. It is what it is. Other people rely on their doctors 100%. That's fantastical. Should you rely on everything your doctor's word is for, like, you know, the whole truth and nothing but the truth? No, because you're paying your doctor for advice. And then you take that advice and you decide what you're going to do. Your doctor shouldn't be telling you what to do because he's not the boss of you. You actually are his boss. You are hiring him for an opinion. And then you take that opinion and then you decide whether or not it's good enough. You're going to do it. You're going to do half of it. You need a second opinion from somebody else so that you can weigh the opinions together and decide what you're going to do. That kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Let's be smart about medicine. Another thing that was suggested to me, Campbell's chicken noodle soup. Okay, so let me explain to you why this is funny. Because Campbell's chicken noodle soup is garbage. It's garbage. It's filled with garbage. And it has sodium content that is stupid. It's absolutely ridiculous. So no, should you eat chicken noodle soup like that you make yourself? First off, I don't need noodles when I'm eating soup. I don't like noodles. Not a fan. I don't want and I don't like beef floating in my soup either. Everyone's like, my mom loves beef barley because she likes barley and beef. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want barley or beef floating in my soup. It's just not a thing for me. It's just an undesirable combination in all honesty. But a good chicken noodle soup that you're making yourself, add your noodles separate. Don't add them like I do. You make an actual chicken, get yourself a good grass-fed, not grass-fed, but like a pastured chicken, right? So the chicken's out eating what they eat in the pasture. It's not a farmed chicken. There is a difference, my friends. If you're going and just using, I'm not saying it's bad, but if you're just going to your local store and getting a whole chicken, it's garbage, even if it's organic. Because unless it's coming from a place where it's a pastured chicken, so if you went to your grocery co-op or a local farm that probably sells chickens, that chicken is going to be filled with way more medicine. Although any of the chicken that you buy is going to be better than Campbell's. You know what I'm saying? Just don't do that. Go get some carrots, go get some celery, go get some onion. Get that down there. Give yourself some good stock. You don't want to make stock? Buy the stock. Add it and then add water. Do half stock, half water. This way you get like a super stock. Technically, if you're making chicken noodle soup, you should be going someplace where you can get yourself some chicken feet. I said it, chicken feet. Why? Because them feet are filled with collagen. The only thing I tell people is that if you do feet, I had a friend who did it once and I was like, what you need to do is, especially if you feed them to your dogs, you need to trim off or cut off the claw on the chicken foot, because it could hurt, a dog's throat. And you also don't want that in your soup, right? You leave them in your soup. The collagen all around breaks down. People are always like, I drink my collagen from such and such company, or I do this every morning with their collagen. Listen, do you know how unbioavailable collagen is for your body? Let me just tell you, it's horrible. Your body hardly gets any collagen absorbance from things that you're taking over the counter. You may want to believe that. They will be providing you with studies that if you're in an MLM company, they're going to tell you they have proof because they did studies. Those studies were done on their own representatives, probably for about 3 weeks to a month. Done. It's just not proven. Also, a lot of MLM companies will tell you the benefits of their product, quote unquote, but it's not actually their product they're providing you with. They are providing you with information they obtained about what benefits the actual ingredients they are stating are in their products. Most MLM products are proprietary formula, so they don't have to disclose what's in it. You just have to take their word at face value. So if they say it has like green tea extract and thiamine, or like, just pick something. Okay. Pick the most wanted benefit of the month. Okay. And then they will look online and find something that has a study about that particular ingredient. And then they'll tell you their product does that. But no, it doesn't do that. That's what that ingredient can do based on certain, what was that? I'm looking for the word for it. God, you guys, I'm so struggling with words and stuff still. The dosage of it. So you don't know how much green tea extract is in something, or matcha extract. They're just telling you the benefits of that. But those benefits only come with actually using matcha or green tea extract. I'm just pulling things out of the air, guys. In a certain dosage. You are not recommended that you're getting that dosage, or that you're even getting matcha or green tea extract. That's just what they're telling you. Okay. That's where they get you on those MLM products, the proprietary formulas. That is not a good thing. It's not a good thing. So I'm going to do a few more, and then we're going to do a sponsor break, and then I'm going to come back and talk to you about actual things that you can do for colds and flu. Okay, so I was also told, this is my favorite one, I was also told that I should take no supplements, stop taking everything, and only drink water and make cabbage and white bean soup. Okay, so let me get this right. I'm supposed to stop taking all my supplements and eat 3 days of cabbage and white bean soup. Okay, I'm trying to get my voice back and my respiratory tract healthy. I don't want to have the shits and clean out my colon. Like, what in God's name? I don't even know. I was just like, I think you're confused. That's what I wrote. I had 3 people unfriend me last weekend, and I really give zero fucks. I'm going to be honest with you guys, okay? Because if you're going to reach out to me and you know me, don't reach out to me. You've never known me and tell me stupid stuff like that. Because I feel like, say a stupid thing, get a stupid answer. You're going to get a stupid reply. You're not going to like it. I'm not coming from a bad place, but why are you telling me if I have an upper respiratory infection that I should eat cabbage soup and stop my meds with white beans? What the hell is that going to do? That's like weight loss pooping soup. Like, I didn't say I needed to lose 20 pounds before a wedding 2 weeks from now. That's insane. That is cuckoo word. Oh, that is cuckoo. Okay. Now, the one that was really dangerous to me, and I actually had a conversation with this person and I wasn't backing down, but they told me that I should take vitamin C, zinc, a good multivitamin, and potassium. And here's me. I'm sorry, what? Did they? And so I wrote back to her, I think you wrote the wrong word at the end of zinc, meaning potassium. Because why would you recommend anyone take potassium? This is dangerous, and I'm going to explain to you guys why. Her response back to me was, potassium is a secret gem when it comes to viruses. And I said, oh, well, in the actual medical world, potassium's not a secret at all. And it actually would be sudden death for a lot of people and dangerous. So then I left her a voice message because I didn't want texting. Sometimes I think people lose a lot of inflection behind texting. So I wanted her to hear my tone. So she understood that I was coming from a right place and that in a nice place, but that she needed to stop ever telling that person, anybody ever again, to take potassium. And so I told her, okay, so I looked on your profile and it does not look like you have a medical degree or that you are a nutritionist or that you are a integrated or holistic physician or nutritionist. And so I guess I'm wondering why you would recommend potassium, because I am a medical professional and I am a holistic nutritionist, degreed in both. And potassium is dangerous for most people to take. You should never take potassium unless it is actually prescribed to you by a doctor, usually a cardiologist. So if you took potassium and you did not even know you had a heart murmur, a heart, anything, okay? If you are recommending people take potassium, but you do not know if the person you are recommending that to has a heart issue that's taking statins or betas, I don't know. You can cause a huge medical issue that can result in death. Okay? And that is not okay. And I have had issues with clients in the past coming to me because random chiropractors have asked them to take potassium, and then they're telling me how their heart meds aren't working, their blood pressure meds, and they don't know what happened, and it's all crazy. And then in true story, I was having lunch with someone at work a long time ago, and she was talking about how her blood pressure meds weren't working. She didn't understand what was going on. Her cardiologist was all confused. He's running all these tests. And then she reaches into her little, lunch bag thing, and she pulls out this big horse pill. And everybody knows in the medical world that the biggest pill in the world is potassium. It just is what it is. And she went to eat, and I thought to myself, why is she taking potassium? And I remember grabbing her hand and like batting it out of her hand. And it just was an instinct. And I was like, I'm like, I'm sorry. I did not mean to like bat it out of your hand. But is this potassium? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, why are you taking potassium if you're on blood pressure medication? And she's like, well, my chiropractor said, your chiropractor? Why is your chiropractor? And that's a money grab, guys. When your chiropractor is telling you that he could sell you supplements and stuff, number one, they're going to be an MLM. And number two, it's a money grab. And he should, or she should not be, do not take nutritional supplemental advice from your chiropractor. They are not licensed or schooled to do that. They don't know anything about supplementation other than what you would do if you read something online. If they are separately certified or degreed in it, that is different. But I have yet to see a chiropractor who is degreed in nutrition or supplementation. And she literally went to her cardiologist that evening because she was like, are you kidding me right now? And so she didn't take the pill. Thank you, Jesus. And so she stopped taking it. She told her cardiologist. The cardiologist apparently had a conversation with that chiropractor, as he should, okay? Not even taking a full medical before you shouldn't even take a multivitamin unless you have spoken to someone about your labs and what you need. Even some vitamins aren't going to work for people because synthetic vitamins, just things that you buy over the counter, those are all synthetic. What if you have a mutated gene? If you are, okay, MTHFR, if you have this, you need methylated vitamins and they must be natural sources of it. Folic acid versus folate. A synthetic does not work in my body, but a actual naturally deprived one contrived, a naturally occurring one. Let's just go with that. That actually will come from a source that your body can recognize. So the more natural the source of the supplementation, your body recognizes it and it's easily used and absorbed. The more synthetic the vitamin, your body does not recognize it. Therefore, it is usually just eliminated. So most people who are taking or have their kids taking Flintstone vitamins or the gummies that are filled with sugar, all of these things, your kids are just peeing out. And it's just sugar in a lot of cases. I get people who tell me all the time, like, well, my kid takes, the one a day, whatever. And I'm like, there's like sugar in that. Why would you take that? Don't give your kids gummies. I know adults that take gummies. Grow the hell up. You do not need a gummy. You're trying to be healthy. If your vitamin tastes good, it ain't a real vitamin. Like this, they smell bad. They taste bad. All you have to do is swallow it. Like, get over yourself. I don't understand the benefit of, or just the rationale behind I can't eat like lettuce or beets or broccoli or pick some other really good vegetable or fruit that people are going to decide that they don't eat because they're gross and they make them gag. Okay, but you'll eat an Oreo, and if you read the ingredients in them and what they do to them, why would you want that in your body? I don't get that rationale at all. So we're going to take a quick break. Now that everybody knows, don't take potassium unless your doctor told you to. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back and talk about like some actual things you could do.
Hello, I'm Peter Sith, and I'm here to tell you about something you have to have for your kids. My new book, Popcorn World. Peek inside my creative brain and meet Dylan, an ordinary kid who accidentally finds a portal to his new world in his basement while looking for his lost soccer ball. Your kids will totally be able to relate to Dylan and all his emotions, trials, and big act of kindness in my story. I worked on creating this book over the summer with my awesome tutor, Dr. Peterson. She helped me guide me through the parts of my book, and boom, Popcorn World was created. Another cool fact, my mom does all the drawings. Trust me, these pictures and the story are super cool, but you can find out yourself by picking up a copy on Amazon, and it's available worldwide. So even if my family and friends in Slovakia, Canada, Scotland, and Italy can get a copy of Popcorn World. Don't forget the name, Popcorn World. Available on Amazon now. Let's make reading cool.
Okay, we're back. We're back. Okay, I'm gonna give you some things that actually make you get well soon. So let's talk about the reality of stuff, okay? So there are a lot of common misconceptions in the world, as we've just discussed in the first half of the podcast, about catching or recovering from a basic cold, okay? So these are actual facts versus, so we're gonna do some myths, okay? That antibiotics, the first one is antibiotics treat a cold, okay? Here's the deal. It is a myth, all right? And we talked about that briefly. Antibiotics treat infections caused by bacteria. Colds are caused by viruses, okay? Antibiotics work by killing bacteria or slowing its growth, and they treat bacterial infections like bronchitis, strep throat, ear infections, upper respiratory infection, sinus infection, okay? However, they cannot cure viral infections and can actually cause dangerous antibiotic resistance, which we talked about, if they're used too often and incorrectly. And that's why I do not like when people get mad because their doctors didn't prescribe them an antibiotic. They're actually doing the right thing. If you do not have a bacterial infection, you do not need an antibiotic, okay? Number 2, another myth. Vitamin C prevents colds. I said it, people, okay? Because the evidence is not clear about the impact of vitamin C. If you actually read everything that's out there, okay, there is some evidence that it can shorten the duration of a cold slightly for some people. But for people who have immunity issues, also people who have kidney disease, people who are pregnant, you should not be taking large doses of vitamin C because large doses can cause gastrointestinal upset. So if you, like me, think that upping your vitamin C while you're sick is going to help you, what it does in turn is give you the poops. Okay? Same for pregnant people and people with kidney disease. There you go. Stop telling people to take vitamin C. Number 3, another myth. Feed a cold, starve a fever. Okay, listen, people should rest and hydrate. If you don't feel like eating or you're running a fever, it is critical that you stay hydrated. Keep fluids and electrolytes on hand. I don't care how you get them. Chicken soup is great, right? It's an easy digestible protein. Okay. It hydrates and, it gives you steam, right? If you're eating it hot, that steam actually releases into the sinuses as well. Okay. Another myth, going outside with your hair wet will give you a cold. Okay. So this is a big thing in Italy. They have a thing about wet hair in public. I think it's hilarious, but they do not mess around. And it's for this reason. In Italy, they think air conditioning and wet hair outside will make you sick. It's a myth. Okay. Now going outside, if you go outside with wet hair, you're going to feel cold, but it's not going to cause a cold or another sickness. Okay. Illnesses are caused by viruses and bacteria. Typically when you're in close contact with another person who's sick. Okay. I mean, that said though, you should make sure that you're wearing warm clothing to protect you against harsher climates. Don't just go outside with wet hair in the winter. I mean, right now it's like -9, like with the wind chill. Don't go outside with wet hair. That's ridiculous. Okay. But it will not cause you to have a cold. Another myth. A lot of people are going to be mad about this because I see this all the time on the mommy boards. Consuming dairy foods means more mucus. Okay. This is a myth because dairy can make mucus thicker and it may not sit well in the belly of someone who's having like a fever. However, dairy does not increase mucus production as a general rule. Okay. Some folks with a sore throat can find that like frozen or cold dairy products like popsicles and yogurt can be soothing. All right. But it doesn't make mucus. Okay. Please stop telling people that. Another myth. Colds don't cause fevers. Only the flu does. Okay. Colds and the flu are caused by different viruses, but they can have similar symptoms. So you may or may not run a fever or feel achy or tired with both, but a fever is one of your body's defense mechanisms to kill off foreign invaders. So you could get them with either one. Okay. So don't tell people that anymore either. Another myth, your cold isn't contagious unless you have a fever. Okay. This bothers me because moms send people out all the time. Okay. Now there's something I'm going to tell people because you are contagious. A person doesn't have to have a fever to be contagious. Okay. In fact, some people actually can have like few to zero symptoms and still be contagious. Okay. As we saw with, the C-19. Okay. Colds can be contagious even a day before your symptoms begin, and most contagious in the first 4 days after your symptoms start. Okay. So the viruses themselves can stay in the body for weeks after the symptoms have gone away, but the chance of spreading infection lessen as time goes on. Now, what about if you didn't have something viral, right, Denise, and it's bacterial? If you had a bacterial infection, you take an antibiotic. When you finish your antibiotics, a lot of people will be like, I need to be on my antibiotics for 24 hours and then I'm not contagious anymore. Stop it. You need to finish your antibiotics, clear up the bacterial infection, and then you are no longer a contagion for that bacterial infection. However, if you are also carrying a virus, you are and could be contagious still for the virus. You know what I'm saying? All these armchair doctors are just like too much, man. And so the last myth I have is you can't really do much to prevent colds. Well, that's a myth, but during the winter months, it's more important to take more precautions against colds and other illnesses. Okay. And these are ways that you can prevent a cold. Now, let me tell you, I do all of these things, but I also volunteer at a co-op with my homeschool co-op, I know how I got sick. My last class of the day includes an art class with like 6-year-olds, and I am the volunteer and I actively help the art teacher in that class. It is a delightful class. The children are delightful. Every single one of the kids in that last class were openly coughing, crouping, and just hacking up stuff and sneezing all over it. You know, kids who are that age, my kid's like 9 and he still does that, where they just cough and like hack openly, and we're like right in front of them. And I knew when I left that class that I was going to get sick. I'm like, there's no way. I feel like their germs were in my eyeballs, my nose, my tongue, my ears. Like, it was just disgusting. But that's kind of where it came from. But just saying, if you have kids who are sick and they do not know how to cover, when my kid's sick, we don't go anywhere because he is gross. Okay. And he cannot, until he learns how to cover his face, use tissues and proper hygiene. Okay. Then he's going to stay home when he's sick. Keep him home. Keep him home, people. You know what else you can do? Stop feeding him sugar. I'm going to keep talking about that this year. All right. So this is the best way to prevent a cold. Okay. Washing hands frequently with soap. Not stop using the like bacterial soaps. Okay. All that weird clear stuff that smells like alcohol. Stop using that because it kills the natural bacteria on your hand. Stop using that garbage. So washing hands frequently with soap, like soap. Remember soap? Regular soap, man. Cleaning commonly touched surfaces like tables, counters, and toys with disinfectants. You don't use Lysol and you don't use bleach or Clorox, then use like a good, essential oil cleaner. That's what I use. It is what it is. Pick one of your choice. Stay hydrated. Drink water. Half your body weight in ounces of water, including your children. Including your children. Okay? A lot of kids don't drink water. Get them off the pot. Eating healthy, nutrient-rich foods to boost the immune system. Not sugar. Not sugar. If you're going to feed them oatmeal, please don't feed them the oatmeal that has all the sugar in it. Look at the stuff. Don't give them cereal. It has sugar in it. Unless you're feeding them a good cereal like I do, where it doesn't even have like gluten in it or anything. Like it's just all like protein. Do that, please, moms. Okay? Get enough sleep. It's hard enough for me to do that on a regular day. When I'm sick, I sleep like a baby. And staying away from others who are sick. Right? Because what happens? Then you're going to make people double sick. I don't just get like a cold. So everyone's like, oh man, if you got sick, I had it for like a month. Well, shit, if you had it for like a month, that means I'm going to have it for like 2 months. That's bogus. You know what I'm saying? And there isn't a vaccine for the common cold. And I'm not going to talk about vaccines because quite frankly, I don't believe in all the new stuff. Gonna leave it at that. Myth. Medications can cure a cold. Okay. Medications cannot cure a cold. There is no cure for a common cold. What is there for a common cold? Nothing. There is no cure. You just ride it out, baby. You ride it out like a wave. Okay. Medications can decrease your symptoms like fever, body ache, stuff like that. But the actual cure for a cold is, get ready. It's 3 things. Go get a piece of paper. Hurry up. Are you ready? These are the 3 things that actually cure a cold. Number 1, rest. Number 2, hydration. Number 3, time. Shut the door now. That's it. Rest, hydration, and time. What is it, Denise? Rest, hydration, and time. Do you see how that doesn't include anything but natural stuff? Rest, hydration, and time. That doesn't mean go to fucking work, people, and get everybody else sick so that their husbands or wives can go home and get their kids and babies and grandpa and grandma sick and their wives with autoimmune disease because, people are carriers. Okay, Mr. Sith is a carrier. He'll sit there and tell me that he feels fine, but his eyes are glassy and shit. And I'm like, he is not fine. And then 2 days later, I'm like, like coughing up a lung because he didn't feel fine. Like, I don't get that. Like, you're not a hero by not taking care of yourself. Stop doing that shit. Okay, so these are I'm going to talk about some common cold treatments that can actually make you sick. Okay? Because there's a lot of old wives' tales, misunderstood science. There's lots of myths about what to do or not do with a cold. These are some of the ones, because so there are a few more things that people recommended to me which is why they're on this list. One of them is somebody told me I should drink hot toddies. I can't. Okay. First off, I'm in recovery. Like, I don't drink because I am a recovering alcoholic, as is my father and like tons of everybody in my family. So you probably just don't want to randomly tell people they should drink alcohol when they're in like someone who's dry. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of rude. A hot toddy is the thing to do to get rid of your sniffles. True or false? It's false, people. It's false. First off, a hot toddy, for those of you who don't know, is like whiskey, lemon, and hot water. Okay? And it's not going to get rid of your cold. Okay? Hand sanitizers with alcohol, okay, are going to help destroy maybe cold viruses on your hands, but drinking alcohol will not do the same inside you. Okay? Alcohol dehydrates you. It dries your mucous membranes. It causes discomfort, and it makes it harder to fight a damn virus. Okay? A shot of alcohol might burn away like a coating in your throat. Okay, you know how like you take it and you're like, oh, you know what else does that? Fire cider. Okay, fire cider. Make some oregano oil for yourself. That'll do it too. But literally, the resulting dehydration from a hot toddy will make your cold last longer. What's a better option than a hot toddy? Okay, drinking plenty of fluids, period. Water, orange juice, mint tea, throat soothers. We have one called Flu Fighter from our local tea shop. Anything to keep yourself hydrated will help you feel better. Good hydration is going to clear congestion. And when you're sick, make sure you get at least half your body weight in ounces of water a day. Okay? Because the better hydrated your body is, that will help your immune system stop the cold system, the symptoms. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Here's zinc. Everybody thinks I should take zinc. Zinc can shorten the length of your cold. True or false? Well, true, but with caution. Now, let me explain why. It's recommended that you usually take zinc by mouth, okay? So taking zinc supplements at the first sign of a cold for normal, healthy people. Meaning you don't have any underlying medical conditions like autoimmune disease, heart disease, lung disease. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Diabetes. When you take zinc supplements in the first signs of a cold, you could actually shorten the duration of symptoms about a day and a half in adults. Okay. But there may also be some benefits to taking zinc regularly. I do in my natural multivitamin, okay, my daily multivitamin, but there are some nasty side effects to taking zinc, okay? So zinc can leave a bad taste in your mouth. Some people can get slightly nauseous after taking it. There are no beneficial effects seen in children. It's not really helpful for them. So if you're like loading your kids up with zinc, there are no studies anywhere that show that zinc is beneficial for kids that are long-term. You don't send me like a study that was done on 30 kids over 6 months in 1973. I don't want that. Okay. I want a 20-year study. If you have a 20-year study plus of what vitamin or what zinc can do for kids beneficially, send it to me and I'll change what I said. Okay. Just power through the symptoms. Just power through them. You're going to be fine. If you don't treat the symptoms, your body's going to fight it faster. Okay. You're going to get through that cold faster if you just let it go. True or false? False. Like what? Why? Some people will actually advocate suffering through like the runny nose, the muscle aches, the sore throat, fever without taking any medications. Now, I don't like to take unnecessary medications. I don't do well with Tylenol, that kind of stuff because of my not just my autoimmune, but also my tolerance to medication. Okay. However, this does not shorten a cold. Okay. The cold virus is replicating inside of your cells, and the mucus of like a runny nose is not flushing out. What it does is just spread the viruses to other people. Okay. So you absolutely want to intervene and help your body out. Help your body help itself. The better options are treat your symptoms and rest, right? If you need an anti-inflammatory med, get you some rest, take those, prevent the spread, stay home. Any ibuprofen for fever or body aches if needed, antihistamines if you have a runny nose, a cough suppressant for a cough. You can use a prescription or a natural source. I don't take meds, but I will tell you that this last sickness that I go over, I had an upper respiratory and a sinus infection. I know, and I took erythromycin, which is an antibiotic, because I had a bacterial infection. And I took prednisone, which is a steroid, because that helps clear it up. And then after the fact, now I just have viral symptoms that are lingering. And that's just going to take time. Vitamin C. Okay. Everyone, take a ton of vitamin C. It cures everything. True or false? Again, somewhere in between. Vitamin C can fight anything they say, from a common cold to like cancer. Like, I'm not making any claims, but that's what they say. It's out there, right? But newer research seems to show that vitamin C has little effect in preventing the onset of cold or reducing its symptoms. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. Is it going to hurt you? Absolutely not. But the same study that was done that I just said had it like very little in preventing the onset of cold. Also is the same study that said that vitamin C may be beneficial, though, if you're an athlete exposed to like very cold temperatures. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it depends on your body type again. If you're a healthy person, vitamin C will most likely help you. But if you are dealing with underlying medical conditions, will it hurt to take it? No, you could take it in small dosage and a normal dosage, because of course, again, a word of caution, large dosage of vitamin C can cause diarrhea, and you can get vitamin C toxicity. A lot of people with iron-related conditions, vitamin C may enhance the absorption of iron and cause iron toxicity. Okay, so if you are taking iron because you have issues with iron, and then you boost up your vitamin C, that enhances the absorption of iron. So then you can actually become toxic, because if you need iron, they're giving you high dosages. So that essentially you're doubling the dose that you're taking. So that can cause a problem. Okay. Mixing medications. We're going to talk about that, because that actually happened. Somebody made a comment, a random comment like, oh, I was told I shouldn't take my medication with my supplement. And I thought to myself, wait, I shouldn't take my medication with my orange juice. And I thought to myself, why do people not know this stuff? But one of the other ones is mixing medications. Okay. Over-the-counter cold medications are perfectly safe to take with other meds. True or false? False. As are over-the-counter or regular supplementations and vitamins. Okay. And also that includes citrus drinks, grapefruit juice, lemons, limes, oranges. Okay. Drug interactions can occur even with over-the-counter medications. If you take a decongestant that includes like pseudoephedrine, what's the other one? Oxymetolazine, I think, in a tablet, liquid, nasal spray. Okay. There could be serious side effects. Okay. Just because they're OTC. So over the counter. Okay. So OTC drugs can cause severe interactions if you're on certain antidepressants too. I know that Mayo Clinic had said that anyone with high blood pressure should also be careful of decongestants. Okay. Now, personally, if you are taking prescription medications, you should not take your supplements or vitamins. There should be a 2-hour window. So I always advise that you take your medication, your prescription meds first, and then set an alarm for 2 hours later or at lunchtime and take your medications then. But I do know that some people might take a medication in the morning and a medication in the afternoon. In that case, you definitely want to set the alarm for the mid time. 2 hours is like optimally perfect. But if you eat at like 8 and you have lunch at 11, I would say that probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock, you should take your supplements and your vitamins. Okay? Because you want to give it time for absorption. You don't want them sitting in the belly at the same time. If you're taking a prescription drug, you should never take it with orange juice, grapefruit juice, lemon, or lime, because the citric acid in it has counteractions or contraindications with medication. You just shouldn't. I thought that was common knowledge, but apparently it is not. So check the warning labels on your cold medications if you're taking over the counter, especially combination medications. So if you're taking the ones for, runny nose, sore throat, and congestion, those are the ones you got to worry about. Okay. The Mucinex and all that. Okay. If you take other medications regularly or you have other health conditions, ask the pharmacist. If you're not sure, ask the doctor. Look for drug interactions. Now, the pharmacist will probably know about a supplement interaction. They should be able to tell you that you should not take supplements or vitamins within a certain amount of time of your prescription drugs. But a doctor probably does not know. I'm going to be honest. They probably do not know. Echinacea. Okay. I swear by echinacea, I can get rid of my cold every time. True or false, people? True. Okay. Because it's likely true, because some research shows no benefit at all. However, a larger analysis of echinacea studies show that the extracts of the plant can reduce the length of a cold by about 1.5 days. That's not bad, right? Some people with allergies to plants like ragweed have shown allergic reactions to echinacea. So if you do have ragweed allergies, echinacea is probably not for you. Some preparations can be contaminated with molds and other allergens. So here again, sourcing your supplements. If you don't source them properly, these things can happen because they don't look for them. And you definitely don't want to be taking like other allergens when you think you're taking echinacea, but you got other allergens in it and molds, right? That's not going to help you. It's important to be careful when you're taking herbal supplements, especially if you have known allergies to pollen and weeds and stuff like that. People don't even think about this. Herbs are not regulated by governmental health agencies. Okay. So you must buy by a reputable source. You must buy someplace they must say that they're certified organic and non-GMO. Period. If they don't say that, then you can't have it. And always make sure that they're 100% pure and non-synthetic. And they'll usually state that on the thing. Chicken soup. We're going to talk about chicken soup again. Grandma's chicken soup is a cure-all for any cold. True or false? True, baby. True. And many cultures swear by the curative powers of chicken soup, right? But not Campbell's, okay? Don't be going and get yourself some chunky, maybe some Rao. I would agree. I would thumb up a Rao soup. It's going to cost you. You could probably make a pot of chicken noodle soup for what a bottle of Rao soup costs. Okay, I'm just saying. It's true, right? So the myth is basically true. Okay, so a study from 2000 shows that chicken soup may have anti-inflammatory properties that help ease cold symptoms. And besides warm liquids and protein, they help you stay hydrated, right? The heat of warm soup loosens congestion as well. But again, many canned chicken soups are loaded with sodium, and some even put food dyes in them, peeps, okay? So foods with high salt content are going to what? They're going to dehydrate you, making you feel worse when you're trying to fight a cold. So go with a good chicken soup. Pay the money. Everything costs money now, peeps. Everything is so expensive at the stores. Buy the damn good soup. Buy the good soup. Buy the damn. I challenge everyone on this that's listening to this podcast to I don't get anything from Rao. I just think if you're going to buy a chicken noodle soup, it is fantastic. I have served this soup to people. I have gifted it to people. And I have told every single one of them, people have been like, this is the best damn chicken noodle soup. I feel like I didn't make it myself. Exactly. That's how you want it. So RAO, R-A-O, chicken soup. It's in a glass jar because cans are gross. Just saying. Okay. So the best thing, what are we taking away from this? The best tips for getting over your cold. Okay. Drink plenty of fluids, get plenty of rest. Okay. It is that. Water, juice, clear broths, warm water with lemon or honey. Real honey, not sugar honey bear. Okay? The little honey bear, okay? The little plastic honey squeeze bear, that is sugar. It's just sugar, peeps. You want real honey, raw honey, preferably unfiltered. But I know some people don't like that, but get yourself some real raw honey, okay? Because they can help loosen congestion. Tea's fine, but it really should be decaffeinated. Those are the best. For me, I don't really like a lot of decaffeinated teas. I'm going to lock it a lie. But I will just drink it. I don't care. Saltwater gargle can actually help ease a sore throat better than a lot of medications, period. Saline drops reduce stuffiness and congestion without the side effects of decongestants. Neti pots, all of that. So you don't have to take the drugs. Just giving you some options, peeps, okay? Humidity. Take a steamy shower. Get those nice little shower steamers. You can buy those. I know the World Market by my house. I love that store. They have these awesome shower steamers. They come in like eucalyptus and like all these like echinacea, something, whatever. They're amazing. Get the nice, treat yourself, peeps. Treat yourselves. You're sick, okay? Humidity. Take a steamy shower. Use a well-cleaned humidifier in small doses, okay? What that means is don't just let your humidifier be running and running and running. You got to give it a break, okay? When I run my humidifier, I will run it at night while I'm sleeping. I'll run it at night while I'm sleeping. And I usually put some of the immune boost drops in it. So like rosemary, lemon, what else is in there? Thieves, the thieves kind of thing. It's called immunity boost because I get mine from Revive because I don't do MLM. So same thing. It's literally the same thing. So I'll put it in there and I crack my window open a little bit. I can't sleep with the window shut, peeps. I'm sorry. And I have a small little fan going, but I do have to turn off my air purifier, my SANS, because the air droplets and the oils and everything make it go like haywire all night. So I just turn it off, and then in the morning I turn the air purifier back on, and then I turn the humidifier off. You don't need to have it on all night. If you get up to go to the bathroom like I do, just switch it off. Sometimes I forget and I just switch it off in the morning when I get up. But it does not need to be running in the house all day. And if you do need to dehumidify your house a little bit or humidify it, I guess, make it a little more moist. Because if you live in the Midwest like I do, or the East Coast, certain parts of the East Coast, it's freaking cold here right now. And the air is dry and you get the crackle. You know what I'm talking about? Where you walk around with a slipper and you accidentally you go to put a light on and you electrocute yourself. Yeah, it's that time of the year, peeps. You can literally take a boiling pot or a crock pot, fill it up with water, and throw in some lemons or oranges with some fresh, rosemary sprigs, some cinnamon sticks, star anise. Pick whatever you want your house to smell like, and just turn it on and leave the cover off. Put that thing on high, your crock pot, and it will smell wonderful. And at the same time, you'll get that humidity into the house so it's not so dry. You're welcome. It smells wonderful. Anyway, that's all we got for today. I got through this. I only made two stops for coffee breaks. I saved you guys from hearing that. And I will talk to you guys this Saturday. Until then, lead with kindness and lean on God. Bye.